Prayer is such a key component in our lives as Christian women, and whether you are in the worst season of your life or the best season of your life, you need prayer. We need prayer at all times. And so while we talk a lot about prayer in January because it is a great way to start off the new year, we want to make sure that you are carrying prayer throughout your entire year. So we're going to talk about things that you should keep in mind to pray about throughout this entire year. All right? Don't miss this episode. Hey sis, welcome to Goodbye Heartbreak, Hello Healing. Are you hurt and confused after a recent breakup? Are you having thoughts like, I can't believe I'm here again. Why wasn't I enough for him? Or I'm never going to get married? Do you find yourself Googling how to get past the breakup or how to heal my broken heart? Do you start your morning feeling like you can finally breathe again, only to fall apart when you see a picture of your ex on social media? Hey sis, I'm Candace. I too was a single Christian woman who was heartbroken but still desired marriage. I too had numerous failed relationships and wished the right man would come along. I wanted closure from past relationships, healing for my heart, and I wanted to feel joy in my life again. But the truth is, I had no idea where to start or how to make any of this happen until I found the secret, partnering with God to heal from heartbreak. In this podcast, you will find tips for moving on after breakups, growing your relationship with God, and preparing for future relationships so that you will heal your heart and be ready to move forward into the life you desire. So turn off those heartbreak songs and turn me up in those earbuds. It's time to heal, sis. Hey sis, and welcome back to the podcast. I am so happy that you decided to join me on today. I am excited because it tells me that you are looking for something and you're willing to take a step forward on your healing journey by getting information from this podcast to apply to your life. So welcome here, okay? If you're new here, I'm so glad that you found us and that you're joining our community, all right? So if you are new here or if you've been rocking with us for a while and you have not subscribed to the podcast, hit your subscribe button wherever you are listening. And if you haven't left your 5-star written review yet, go ahead and leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps the show and it helps other women just like you to find the show, okay? So I have some exciting news. You guys know that I wrote a Bible plan. I published a Bible plan last year on YouVersion called Healing Hurt from a Broken Heart. And it is doing really well. I know a lot of people have found me and found the podcast from reading that Bible plan. So it's been so effective. It has over 10,000 subscriptions right now. And so because I know that it was in such a high demand, I decided to publish another one. Okay, it did so well. I decided to publish another one and it launched last week. And so I wanted to tell you all about it so that if you wanted to go and check it out, you absolutely can. It's called Close to the Brokenhearted, Grow Closer to God After a Breakup, okay? And so it is really based off of my book, okay? You know I have a 365-day devotional called Goodbye Heartbreak, Hello Purpose, and that book is divided up into several parts, several sections. So the first Bible plan that I wrote was dealing with the first part of the book. And so this Bible plan that I wrote is actually based on the second part of the book. So it's not the whole book in its entirety, obviously, because there are 365 devotions, but it will help you get an idea of what the book is like and what it's like to read it day by day. So go to YouVersion, check it out, and I hope you really enjoy it. I'll have a link for you in the show notes, so be sure to check that out. So talking about growing closer to God, right? To do that, you have to be in prayer, okay? And I know you may find it difficult right now, which is why I wrote this Bible plan, why I decided to put it out there, because a lot of people, when you go through a breakup, one of two things will happen. Either you will draw closer to God or you will draw further away from Him, right? You will go further away. So I want to make sure that you're going in the right direction. I want to make sure that you are drawing nearer to Him and closer to Him during this time, because He is your secret weapon, sis, to getting through this season, to mending your broken heart. And so while we're talking about prayer, we've been talking about it for a couple of episodes now, and I want to make sure that you have an idea about what you can be praying about during this season, right? Because if you have a broken heart, it's like, I don't even know what to pray for. Sometimes the emotions, the thoughts that are plaguing your mind, it just becomes overwhelming. And so you're like, okay, what do I even pray for right now? So I'm going to give you 6 things for you to focus on, to pray for throughout this season of your life, okay? No matter how long it lasts. But for right now and throughout this year, for as long as you need to, I want you to be praying about these 6 things. Number 1, God, help me strengthen my relationship with you. I just said that God is your secret weapon here. So you need to be in relationship with him. Make sure that you're not, again, running away from him, not, being so mad at him that you just cannot talk to him, that you feel that way. I want you to strengthen your relationship in this season of your life. This is a prime opportunity to invite God into your life and allow him to do something that seems hard, that seems impossible for you. So go ahead, take this opportunity, because he will show up if you let him, if you invite him in. He will show up for you and he will make it happen. He will mend your broken heart. He will draw you nearer to him. He will do these things. He will strengthen you in this season where you feel weak. So pray to him and say, God, help me strengthen my relationship with you. Number 2, God, help me stay consistent on my heart healing journey. So if you're here, you are likely dealing with a broken heart after a breakup, after a divorce, something of that nature. So I want you to make sure that you are praying to God to stay consistent on this journey. It is so easy to get derailed. It's so easy to quit. It's so easy to say, you know what, I'm just not going to worry about it, and decide to close yourself off and harden your heart and not do the healing work. Sis, you want to do the healing work. Trust me on that, because there's something amazing on the other side of healing a broken heart. But in order to get there, you have to remain consistent on the healing journey. What I notice, I have a lot of women that come, they'll send me emails, they'll DM me, they'll even work with me. They'll buy my course, they'll coach with me. But the ones that make progress are the ones who remain consistent. They consistently show up. So, and to be honest with you, it hurts my heart, because I see so many of these women who, even, like I said, pay their money, who don't stick with the journey. They give up. They don't do the assignments. They don't, they're not actually engaging. And so if you don't stay consistent with the things that are going to help you get to the other side of this, how do you expect to get to the other side of this? You have to remain consistent on the journey, and whatever that means for you, right? Whatever it is that it's taking to actually heal. Now, I didn't say mask. I didn't say mask your heart, right? Your broken heart. I didn't say mask the pain. I'm saying actually dealing with the pain and actually dealing with the hurt, the heartbreak, so that you can really, truly heal. Hey sis, are you missing your ex, feeling lonely and feeling unworthy? Do you wish there was a way to stop crying yourself to sleep at night, get the closure you need after that breakup, and get over your ex? I understand. I know what it's like to have another failed relationship, have my heart broken, and feel like I will never find someone to love me. But sis, imagine if you can finally get past the pain, have a healed heart, find the peace you're looking for, and move on to what God has for you. Well, it's totally possible with my customized heart healing plan, where I give you personalized strategies for healing, letting go, and moving forward with God. You will be able to carry out simple steps to see real progress on your heart healing journey and actually gain peace. You will walk away with a detailed plan with a specific goal and between 1 to 3 simple steps to carry out the healing goal. Plus, you get accountability from me, and you can email me questions for 2 full weeks after our session. So if you're ready for your customized heart healing plan based on your specific healing needs with accountability and support, head over to CandiceABaddies.com/services to book your 60-minute heart healing coaching session. Spots are limited, so be sure to book yours today so you can finally heal and get to the life that God has for you. Remember this from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I love you, sis. Now let's get back to today's episode. Number 3, God, open my eyes to what I need to change to become who you want me to be. So again, I always look at heartbreak after I experienced that last one in 2015. I now know that it is an opportunity for something to happen in my life, right? And so I want you to see it as the same way. I know it's hard because it hurts, but it is an opportunity. Ask God, okay, who do you want me to be on the other side of this? Who are you calling me to be? I know you have plans for me. What do those plans look like? So ask God to begin removing the scales from your eyes, because you do have scales on your eyes. You have a filter that you're looking through right now. You have a broken lens. If you heard me talk about it in episode 2, actually, which is one of you guys' favorite episodes, in episode 2, I talk about looking through a broken lens. And when you do that, like, you're not seeing clearly. And so you have to heal the brokenness in order to see clearly. You have to heal the broken heart. But as you go about this healing journey, staying consistent, then God is able to just, allow your vision to become clearer. And you can ask him, God, who do you want me to be in this lifetime? Who did you create me to be? So what changes do I need to make to become who you want me to be? Number 4, God, give me peace, even when it doesn't make sense. I love this one. There's a scripture in Philippians when Paul is writing his letter to the church, and he's telling them, worry about nothing, but pray about everything. And at the end of that, he says, let the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your hearts and mind in Christ Jesus. So he said that surpasses all understanding, which means it doesn't make sense. It surpasses our understanding. And this is what it looks like. For me, this is how it looked in my life during that season. Somehow, God had given me peace with my situation, with where I was in life. I was no longer worried. And it was peace that I didn't understand because nothing in my life had changed. I was still single. I still didn't have the man I wanted. I still wasn't married. I wasn't dating anybody. I was just dealing with my brokenness. I was allowing God to heal me. I was staying consistent, meeting with him, drawing closer to him, and just allowing God to do what he does. And in doing that, he gave me peace. He allowed me to experience peace that I didn't understand because none of my life's circumstances had changed. I just now had this inner peace where I was not anxious. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't brokenhearted anymore. So that peace, like, there is nothing like it. Nothing can compare to it. And so I would say, like, that's a big one to pray for, because when you get that peace, then you can move through this a lot differently and you can enjoy your life as it is. You don't have to wait for something to happen or someone to come into your life in order for you to have joy. You can have joy because now you are at peace in your mind and in your soul. Number 5, God, fill every void within me. So a natural thing that happens with a breakup, and that's why they call it a breakup, there's a break, meaning there are now voids, there are cracks, there are things in your life that where you feel like something or someone is missing, and it's like a hollow void there, right? And you are looking for something to fill the void. And for me, for years, I had brokenness before 2015 that I just didn't deal with because I filled the voids with other relationships, with other men, instead of allowing God to come in and fill my voids. So one thing that I highly advise is that you pray that prayer that God fills your voids. Don't go ahead and fill it like I did with other people in relationships. Don't fill it with alcohol or drugs. Don't fill it with food. Don't fill it with activities. Allow God to come in and fill that void. And it really ties in with number 4 a lot about having that peace, Because when God fills your voids, that's when you start to experience that peace, the peace that does not make sense, when you allow him just to come in. So that is why it's so important to strengthen your relationship with him. So all of these things really do go hand in hand with one another. If you do one, then it's like a snowball effect that everything else will kind of naturally happen. If you can draw closer to God and strengthen your relationship with him, if you can stay consistent on your healing journey, then you'll begin to see your eyes open. Then you'll be able to experience God's peace, and you'll be able to, and God will be able to fill your voids. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they all really do go hand in hand with each other. So you just have to trust God at his word. You have to trust and believe that he's going to heal you. If you just do the work, if you just stay consistent on this journey, right? If you would just trust him and say, you know what, God, I don't know how, because it may seem impossible, but I'm going to let you fill my voids. I'm going to be healed. I believe it. I don't know when, I don't know how, but fill every void, God. Just come on in and do that. And just pray that prayer every day. Pray it every day. And I believe as you pray it every day and you believe in the words that you are saying, that you will begin to little by little feel better. You'll be able to feel better. And those negative and toxic emotions will be able to surface, but not stay at the surface. They'll be able to come up and come out and leave you. And so all of these things, it's like God's free to come in and fill you up. And that is what you want. You want him to come in and fill you up. He will be the one to fill your voids. And number 6, God, don't let my heart harden towards you or others. Okay. And this is a big one as well. They're all big, if I must be honest. But pray the prayer that your heart doesn't harden towards God and towards other people. A hardened heart, it means that you turned off your emotions and you're not feeling the bad stuff, but you're also not feeling the good stuff. You're not letting anything out and you're not letting anything in. A hardened heart doesn't mean that it's not broken. In fact, because it's so hard, if it's dropped, it can be broken again. And so there's a scripture, and I can't think of where, I think it's in Isaiah, where God tells the people of Israel that he's going to trade their hearts of stone for a heart of flesh. A fleshy heart, if you drop it, it's okay, because it's a heart of flesh. It won't break. It won't shatter. It's not fragile. Okay. But a stony heart, a heart of stone, can be broken and can be shattered if it is dropped. And so again, it's that hardness. You're not letting anything out. You're not letting out the toxicity. You're not letting out the hurt and the pain and the emotions and the things that are weighing you down. You're just hiding them under the surface of the hardness, right? You're just hiding them under the surface, but they're there. And something could come in and cause a little crack in your heart. And then before you know it, you're overflowing with all this toxicity that you were hiding and masking. And you don't want that. And again, because the heart is hard, nothing's coming out, nothing's getting in. You need God to get in that heart and to heal it and mend it. You need him to let the peace get in there. You need the joy to get in there. But those things won't get in there if you harden your heart. And a hard heart means that you feel like you're not talking to God. You're not sharing with him. You're not growing closer to him. You don't feel like you need to heal. You're good where you're at. That's what a hardened heart does. So don't let that happen. Keep your heart pure and fleshy. Okay. And you do this by really, again, staying in prayer. You have to stay in prayer, and you pray that prayer that God, just don't let my heart become hardened towards you. Pray that prayer every day and pray it with sincerity. Like I just don't want this to happen, God. I don't want this. I don't want to have a heart like that my entire life. I don't want to walk through life with a hardened heart. So just be honest and vulnerable with God as you pray each one of these prayers, okay? So let's talk about these 6 things. I'm going to run them down for you one more time. Number 1, ask God to help you strengthen your relationship with him. Number 2, ask God to help you stay consistent on your heart healing journey. Number 3, ask God to open your eyes to what you need to change to become who he wants you to be. Number 4, ask God to give you peace even when it doesn't make sense. Number 5, ask God to fill every void within you. And number 6, Ask God to not let your heart harden towards him or others, okay? So like I said, it's just so important to stay in prayer. And if you're not sure what you should be praying for during this season of your life, these 6 things are a great starting point, okay? And if these are the only 6 things that you pray about for a while, that is okay, because God is really like, he's looking to see, he just wants to connect with you. God, more than anything, wants relationship with us, which means when we're going through something and we're struggling with something, he doesn't want us to turn away and try to get it together on our own and then come back to him. He wants to sit with us. He wants to come into our space and help us and guide us through the process, through the journey. He wants to be by our sides. So let him do what he wants to do. Let him do what he can do, because he's the only one, sis. He is the only one that's going to be able to truly bring about healing in your heart. You can do all kinds of things yourself. You can go to therapy. You can even coach with me and read the books. But if you are not partnered with God in the things that you're doing, if you're not praying and seeking him, then you can still end up not seeing results. To see results, you have to be able to communicate with him. Okay, so that is the key. That is the secret, and so pray about these things and begin that dialogue with him. Let these things, be a starting point for you to be able to pray every single day throughout your day, several times a day. All right. So I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode so much. Don't forget to come over to the Facebook community to go ahead and finish this conversation. If you haven't joined us yet, we would love to have you. Just come over and answer the membership questions and agree to the group rules, and we'll let you in, okay? I love you so much, and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye, sis. Hey, sis. Listen, if you have been blessed, changed, or inspired by this podcast in any way, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This is the #1 way that you can thank me and show support for the show. Also, if this podcast blessed you, don't keep it to yourself. Do a quick share and bless someone else. Please know I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I would love to hear from you. Come connect with me and other like-minded individuals in my Facebook group called Christian Women Overcoming Heartbreak and Finding Purpose. I can't wait to meet you back here really soon. Until then, remember to love the life you have while you're making it better. Love you, sis.